Welcome Aquarius and Aquarius cross watchers to, excuse me, your monthly love reading. Whoa, for April 2023. Holy crap. So we have the Lovers, and then we have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So, actually, I think we're going to use this deck for you guys. I'm going to be honest, I was going to do another sign right now, but your Aquarius kept coming, like I just kept hearing you guys, and I tried to do the other read and no cards were coming out. So I just thought like, okay, Aquarius. So what is Aquarius thinking about this relationship? Oh, sorry, my apologies. We're going to get relationship situation, what each of you is thinking and feeling about the other person, and your intentions towards each other this month. So Aquarius. King of Cups reversed. Hold on. Aquarius. And what are they feeling? Fortune's Wheel. This King of Cups reversed is really interesting. Just let me sit with it for a second. It's almost like there's some confusion, or you're, I want to say like deciding. I feel like in some way the ball is in your court, and it's almost like, oh, there's your card. It's almost like you're in an energy of like, not that you wish you've never met somebody, but I feel like there's some complications here. And what's going on in Aquarius's person's heart space? Nine of Cups. And yeah. Aquarius. So, you know what, Aquarius? I think I'm just going to sit with the cards for a minute and pull out some messages. So I'm going to pause the video, but I'll be right back. Sorry about that, Aquarius. So I kind of feel like there seems to be something, I almost want to say, it's like there's something in you that's growing, that it's almost like in you, like some feeling, but I feel like to a certain extent you don't really want to. It just feels like there's, it's almost like there seems to be some sort of emotional, attachment that you're developing to somebody, but I feel like you are, it's almost like, I feel like you keep trying to sweep it away, and not sweep it under the rug, but it's almost like you keep trying to get rid of it. And I feel like it keeps rearing its, I almost want to say like its stupid, ugly head. Because I feel like this person is very complex. I feel like there are, I know I'm still stumbling. I'm sorry, Aquarius. I think we're just going to go card by card here. So the King of Cups usually talks about someone that's very emotionally mature, has good control of their emotions, but it's reversed for you here. And I feel like it's not that you're emotionally immature. It's almost like you're not too sure exactly how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there seems to be some, it's almost like the prospect of something potential here keeps popping up, but I feel like it's almost like either it's a situation where there were a lot of false starts, or it's almost like the two of you almost came together, but then this happened or that happened. It just feels like there have been so many not happenings. I want to say that's not even a word or like a actual thing. It just feels like there's been a couple of knives to the heart for you here. That I feel like to a certain extent, that kind of youthful exuberance that comes with kind of falling for somebody here, I feel like you are not really paying attention to it, or intentionally, it's almost like you're trying to convince your heart that it doesn't feel what it feels. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this, like, no, it's just a like, we're going to push that away. Um, it's not this energy of like, been down that road before. It just feels like, I almost want to say that if this situation kind of wants to present itself, it can't just be giving these like, I almost want to say like these ridiculous hints. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's going to have to come and get in your face. So it's almost like if somebody wants you, they're going to have to come get you, and they're going to have to show you that they want you, because you have zero intention of chasing anybody in the first place, right? I mean, we all do it sometimes, right? I've done it. But I feel like whatever's going on here, it's like you're not quite actively avoiding it, but you kind of are. You know what I mean? It's like you might not be willing to admit it to anybody, but you kind of are actively avoiding it. And I feel like it's because you're feeling like there's something that caught you by surprise, almost like it wasn't shocking, but it was kind of like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that seems to be kind of a driving factor for you to want to feel like you can kind of protect yourself here, right? It just feels like almost like you're throwing your hands up in that moment where you're like, oh, you know what I mean? You just throw your hands up. You're like, you know what? Forget it. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's that energy of, I don't know why I'm being reminded of this, but in the last place that I lived, my neighbor, their next door neighbor, had this tree that was starting to affect their foundation, and the neighbor wouldn't take it down, and they were being horrible. And my neighbor would joke and say like, that they're going to, kill the tree somehow. I don't know how they would even do it. But it's almost kind of the energy of like those two neighbors standing there, and the one who's having their foundation ruined or kind of damaged, right? It's like that person is trying to explain to this person, like, you have to cut something down because it's ruining my, and the other one's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not even that, you know what I mean? And it's like, and it's just, they're just unwilling and unable to see the truth. And the person whose foundation is getting damaged is like, oh, it just feels so useless to talk to them. And it's almost like, and they're, for a sign that is as intelligent and almost kind of like a very, I want to say quick wit, but that's not quite, I mean, that's there, but it's not quite what I'm going for. It's not quite the message that's coming through. It's like usually you have a plan, or usually you're able to kind of get people to kind of understand things, right? Because you're able to approach it from a bunch of different ways. But I feel like this person, it's like you stop trying to convince them. I'm just going to pull a clarifier for this Wheel of Fortune here. I'm kind of feeling like, let's get I feel like you want a clarifier for the Page of Air, Page of Swords. I almost said like, shiz. So we have the Ace of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, and the Ace of Pentacles here. And I feel like there's something that's going to really brighten up your world, brighten up your day. I feel like there's something here that feels like such a blessing. It feels like it's almost like here you are kind of holding all of this back, and you're making sure everything's happening the way, you're orchestrating your life the best way you can. And it feels like here comes this blessing, and it's almost like it's, you know how like in cartoons when there's like, you know, gold there and it's kind of like shining really brightly, right? It feels like it's that kind of an energy. And I feel like, you know, you're in this kind of position, and it's like you're not going to look down fully. It's like your eyes are closed. You're just going to kind of peek open one eye and be like, is that really what I thought it was? You know what I mean? It feels like you've been holding everything back. You've been holding everything up for so long. Um, it's almost that energy of, um, I'm not trying to minimize what I believe it's the seals do on Hell Week, okay? But it's the kind of energetics of someone that's been holding a log up for a really long time, and someone's there saying like, "Hey, you can take a break. Here's a sandwich." You know what I mean? And it's like, and that sandwich is like the it's just that kind of an energy. And I feel like there's almost something here that feels like it might be, it's almost like you're gauging it to see if it's a trick, right? It's like, if you say yes to that sandwich, does that mean that you have to stand there for 3 more hours with that log, right? It's that kind of an energy. And I feel like in that, it's going back to that same thing where like, whatever this is that's coming in, because it's clear there's like something new. Come on now, look at this, right? There's clearly something new. Um, but I feel like it just feels like this energy of prove it. You know what I mean? It feels like this kind of energy where you're, um, it's almost like you've gotten into the habit of something. You've gotten into it's not that it's comfortable with the log, but like you found the spot to hold it, right? And if you drop it and have to pick it up again, it's just going to be that much worse. It's almost easier to just keep holding on to it unless you can drop it for good. And your person over here. Hold on. I actually feel like we're going to get into this Queen of Swords and Queen of Fire. Or it's Queen of Air, Queen of Fire, but it's Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands. It feels like I can't quite feel if these two are the same person, or if it's like this is the outer shell, this is the inner shell. But regardless, it's like the Queen of Wands is what you want, but all you ever see is the Queen of Swords. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and they seem to feel that either the Queen of Swords is what you want, or it feels like it's like sorry, if I didn't say the Queen of Swords, that's what I meant to say. The Queen of Swords is what they think you want, or the Queen of Wands may be somebody that's very passionate, that gets attached very easily. I'm not saying that the Queen of Wands always is that, but in this case, it feels like the Queen of Swords part of their personality knows the weaknesses. It's like their head knows the weaknesses of their heart. And so their head is very, very careful and selective about showing or kind of allowing people to have access to that inner part of them. It's almost like they're protecting not that they need to be protected from you, right? But it's like they're protecting that part of themselves. I actually feel like this person feels like they could really fall for you. And they may be more protective of themselves than normal because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like if when they fall for people, no one falls with them and they get kicked in the face when they're down there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost this energy of like, they see you, they like you. I feel like they want to show you that other part of themselves, but it's almost like, but life has taught them that you can't, they can't do that just yet. They can't do that until they this or until they that, right? It's almost like they feel if there's one more cut, one more hurt to this Queen of Wands, this inner world for them, it's almost like that part of them is made of glass now. You know what I mean? It's like if anybody touches it, if anybody hits it, it's like the slightest just, all you have to do is kind of flick it and like the glass is going to crack. And I actually feel like that may be how they're seeing it because they've been so broken before. But I feel like it actually may not be the case. I'm almost kind of starting to get this energy of like the Queen of Wands part of them wants to play a bigger role. It's almost like the Queen of Wands kind of wants to be in conjunction with the Queen of Swords, not kind of protected. I feel for a time that part of themselves let this Queen of Swords kind of run the show. It was almost like the Queen of Wands was sick of fighting, sick of having their heart involved in everything. So they just stopped, and it's almost like, and that they've stopped it so many times that it's like, instead of it just them stopping it, it's like there's a, you know, there's a wall there now. And it doesn't feel like this is the kind of person that like, oh, they're waiting for you to come break their walls down or anything like that. I feel like this is the kind of person that it takes a long time to get to know them, and it takes a long time to kind of build rapport. And I feel like they have, hold on. They may feel old at times, regardless of their age. They feel older than they are. You know what I mean? It's that energy of feeling like they're just tired. And I feel like to a certain extent, they're just, it's like they've just accepted that they're always going to be tired. But I feel like it's because they never truly rest, even when they don't have a lot on their plate. I feel like when this person is in a place where most people would be kind of in a downtime sort of thing, it's like this version of them is thinking about the next thing. It's like the Queen of Swords never lets the Queen of Wands truly take over anymore. And it's almost like in the way that the Queen of Swords in them allowed this Queen of Wands to rest, I feel like it needs to flip. You know what I mean? It's like this Queen of Swords needs a friggin' break. Their brain needs a break from running the show. But it's almost like, but they, sorry, one moment, please. Their brain may need that break, but it's almost like it's too frazzled to let go of control. You know what I mean? It's almost like they've spent so much time getting something, getting things on track. I'm sorry about that, everybody. My son's bringing me a coffee. So I feel like the Queen of Swords energy is not the right match for you, but this one is, right? And I feel like I'm not so sure in this, okay, in this person's heart space, how they feel about you is the Nine of Cups. I'm going to be honest, I'm not so sure this person is, I don't think that they're really focused on you right now. I feel like they might be a little bit focused on money. Not trying to be crappy to anybody. Can we get a clarifier here, please? Hold on for a second. It's almost the energy of someone that is focused on someone younger. Hang on, but not younger, you know, like they're dating someone that's a few years younger than them. It's like someone very young, like um, maybe if they have young children or a niece or nephew, you know what I mean? It's like very young, and they seem to be just utterly, I want to say, like so in love, so taken with this child, right? They are, it's like it's a doting parent is the energy that I'm picking up. And I feel like it's almost like part of the reason that you kind of aren't too sure. It's almost like even if this person has been cold to you, the kind of parent or, however it is that they act around this person, I feel like you kind of can't get away from loving that. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like whatever this person's doing, I want to say they're always out there. And there may have been times where you needed to kind of put yourself in a position where you didn't hear or you kind of like weren't aware of that. But it's almost like there's some sort of consistency here. It's almost like, I want to say, I feel like you may know something that they don't. And it's almost like you're watching to see how something's going to play out for them. I want to say that I feel like to a certain extent that they know that you're aware or kind of, keeping an eye on them or whatever that connection, whatever's going on between the two of you, they know. But I feel like they are so enjoying the time with this person or kind of being focused on that. It could even be that they really love to garden or something. You know what I mean? There's something that's small that they're caring for in such a loving way that it's like you can't help but fall for them. There's something about them that it's like even when you kind of can't stand them, you can't help but respect the work that they put in or their work ethic or their this or their that, right? Hold on for a second. I do want to say that it was pretty clear in these cards, but I feel like at times this person uses whatever this is, if it's, a young child or a specific task, whatever it is, I feel like they use it as an excuse. And I feel like for those of you that this is resonating for, it's not something new to you. It's just confirmation of what you already knew. Like they use it as an excuse. They use that love as an excuse. And it's like, it almost feels like it's not, it's not like you're trying to interfere in that, right? I feel like this person doesn't quite understand what's going on here between the two of you or what would happen. You know what I mean? It just feels like they seem to be using it as an excuse, and it's almost like there's something about your intention that doesn't match that energy of feeling like of them feeling like they need an excuse to avoid something, right? It's like that's not what's that's not what's happening on your end, sort of thing. Now here, what's in their headspace, what they're thinking about you is the Star reversed, which of course is your card, and then we have the Ten of Fire, which is the Ten of Wands. So the Star card, you may already know this, but it talks about that it's that moment after the Tower, right? After like the rug was pulled out, and it's that moment of kind of healing, right? And then the Ten of Fire usually talks about things being really difficult, things being really hard. And I feel like this person, it's almost like they're scared to let somebody else kind of make their life easier. I almost feel that this person, hold on for a second. If they were upright, it would kind of be like, it would really feel like they're ready, but they're busy. But reversed, it's like they don't know if they're ready. I feel like they don't know if they're healed. It's almost like I feel like they're more capable than they think they are, but they seem to feel like they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. They don't know about this, they don't know about that. It's almost the energy of somebody that um, may use whatever this is to avoid making decisions. And I feel like with this here, um, it's almost like they're actively avoiding even considering the possibility of something. I don't think it's working out very well for them. Um, but I feel like that certainly seems to be what they were trying. It's almost this energy of, if they do this, then life is going to get hard, right? So it's like they're trying to keep their life as easy and uncomplicated as possible. And I feel like that's not working out for them at all, right? But it's almost like, but this kind of strife that is coming their way, I feel like they are more capable. They're handling it much better. And it's almost like, I feel like they're scared to believe it somehow. So, um, I think I'll leave it there, Aquarius. I feel like it brought up more questions than it answered. I hope that's not the case. I hope that it was helpful and brought you some clarity. Um, I love you very much and hope to see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.